It's time for the Nebraska Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Wooster's got it, drives the ball, skip pass right side, extra pass, Williams shoots the three, got it! Big three ball by Bryce, his 20th of the year for CVA, Central Valley Ag, 3 of the game, and Nebraska's up 3-zip. 13 in the shot clock in the corner, Buchtenzel, pump fake, draws a double to Hoiberg, right side, Esijan steps in, sidestep 3 on the way, got it! 3 ball, Connor Esijan, his 3rd Central Valley Ag, 3 of the night. Back to Morgan, nobody in the paint, 5 out look, Williams pump fake. Wooster squares, shoots the 3, got it! How about Wooster? A couple of 3 balls here. He had 3 coming in, he's got 2 in this game. Now the drive by DeVold, Price with a tomahawk with the left hand, missed the dunk, and the rebound is Nebraska's. Jacobs into the trailing Hoiberg, drives it, draws a double out to Griffiths, puts it up, got it! Back-to-back 3s by Gavin. You'd think they just won the Big Ten tournament.
Now with Fred Hoiberg, here's your host, Jessica Coody.
And Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour. I'm Jessica Coody, joined with the head coach. Happy New Year, Coach Hoiberg.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what a way to close out the 2024 for your guys. And another win over Southern going into Big Ten play. You had to like the way that your guys closed out the year.
Yeah, especially coming off the tournament and going out to Hawaii. That was a great trip for us to go out and take care of business. It worked out perfectly. You play a good Murray State team that I think will do well in their conference, and then you get a true road game against a good Hawaii team, and then you finish off with a quad 1 game against Oregon State. So you get 3 really high-quality wins, and then you got to travel across 4 time zones, get back really late. We had a travel delay and actually had to fly into Omaha because of the fog in Lincoln the day we get back. So we get back in our beds about 3 in the morning and then had to bounce back in a 2-day prep against a team that actually played very well. They had A&M down 14 at halftime. They played Ole Miss very well and had given some high major programs some trouble. But the thing we did, we got off to a great start, and that's exactly what we were looking for. In a game like that, you don't want to give a team to believe that they can hang with you and not be confident. And I thought we did that. We jumped on them, sustained it. I thought we had really good ball movement in that first half. All of our field goals were assisted. We had a little stretch in the second half. I thought we got a little stagnant. We turned the ball over too much. But, overall for that game, that's a tough game, that last one. Because Southern, they play a lot of bye games over the course of the early portion of their schedule, and that's their last road game before they get to go home and start playing conference games, and it's always been a dangerous one. I always have a lot of anxiety before that last game heading into conference play, but it was nice that we took care of business, ended up getting some guys some minutes. I thought it was great to get Gavin out there and get him some productive minutes, and I thought he took advantage of that, hitting a couple threes, had a nice layup late in the game, and those guys extended the lead for us, and that's very important. I think you saw, in today's era, unfortunately, you have to look at your margin of victory with the net the way it is. We jumped up 8 spots in the net, and a lot of that had to do with the margin of victory, and those guys that finished the game, I was very proud of them.
402-413-2400 is that number if you want to shoot a text in, a question or a comment for Coach Hoiberg over the next 30 minutes or so. We are going to have an interview with Connor Esijan coming up at the end of the hour. But Diamond Head Classic champions, it's always nice to bring back some hardware back to Lincoln, right?
It is, yeah. And, I was very fortunate at Iowa State. We played in that same tournament, and we came back with the championship there as well. And that helped us in Big 12 play at that time, and we ended up winning the Big 12 championship that year and getting to the Sweet 16. So, it's important to go out there and play against good teams and be tested, and like I said, in a true road game. And that will help us, as we move along into our schedule. And those things are all, you look at Loyola, for example. That's a very good team. They were 9-1 going into that. They lose 3 basically one-possession games. And, that's the opposite side of it on what it can do for you. But I think for us, this can springboard us forward, give us confidence. A lot of guys played really productive minutes, and I thought we played efficient basketball. So, it's we're going to get tested on Saturday in a big way. We're playing a ranked team that's already won a true road game in league at Oregon, who was a top 10 team at the time. It's extremely tough. Mick Cronin's teams are as tough as anybody in the country, and they're shooting the ball very well. They shot 42% from the three-point line in the month of December. You add those 2 elements together, a tough physical team that can shoot, and you got your hands full. But I know we're going to have a great crowd. It's alumni weekend. It's going to be an exciting time to get off, to 18 in a row now in conference play, and a really good first test for us. So hopefully we'll go out and play a complete 40-minute game.
Bryce McGowens is the MVP of the tournament. He's had an incredible stretch, getting a lot of attention here recently. But when he comes back and he wants to work on his game and improve, just to, again, up his stock for whatever the future might hold for him. But where in his game has he made the most strides that he's really been more impactful for you guys this year?
Well, Bryce McGowan's actually had 46 points last night.
Bryce Williams. Bryce Williams.
Yeah.
I was thinking Bryce McGowan because we were talking about
we talked about him before. But yeah, let's talk about Bryce McGowan for a minute. Coming off that game, hopefully that gets him back on the on the big roster in the NBA. He's had some really good games this year, for the G League team, and those are the type of games that get you back onto the NBA roster. So great for Bryce. Bryce Williams getting the MVP of that thing, obviously very well deserved, and he just was unbelievable all the way through. And he didn't force it. He let the game come to him, and not only scoring the ball, but the rebounding, the assists. He's really become a complete player. The other thing we did, we played him quite a bit at point with Aaron Eulis with the sprained ankle, and he took advantage of it and did a lot of the things that he did last year as well. So we'll have stretches over the course of games where we're going to put the ball in his hands and let him go to work.
How much does that stretch to just, figuring out ways to win and prepare for teams on a short turnaround, but then also just the camaraderie, the spending time together? How much does that help a team moving forward?
That's the thing, honestly, I was really probably most excited about with that trip was the bonding that our guys would have with each other. And you have a lot of meetings. And with the short prep, it's obviously you got to have mental preparation going into that. You can't put a lot of load on their bodies going into it. When we landed a day later than all the other teams because we had finals, and we went straight to the gym, and I thought our guys were really sharp. And then the next day we went a little bit harder, and I knew our guys were going to be ready to go out there and play. We jump out to a 22-4 lead in that first game against a gritty, tough Murray State team, and we just sustained that for every game. But the mental preparation that it takes. I was really pleased with how the guys, in walkthroughs in a really small ballroom and film sessions, how they went out there and had game plan discipline for the most part for all 40 minutes.
Connor Sejan said that he and Raleigh went out there and tried to body surf, and it did not go well for them. Yeah,
I wasn't real thrilled with when the guys went out there when I saw them out in the body surf, but it was for a very short amount of time. And, I know I told the guys, listen, let's go win the championship, then you can go have fun. That last afternoon, that was an earlier game for us. So, listen, you got to go out there, you got to experience it. So, to go out there for, I think, what it was, 15 minutes in the ocean, I was fine with that. But, those guys were ready to play. That's the important thing. Go have fun, but when that ball goes up in the air, you better be ready.
Absolutely. How about Berke Buyutengel and the stretch that he was able to put together? He seems to starting to figure out how to play his best basketball.
Yeah, you can see his confidence on the rise, and he's shooting the ball with less hesitation. He's been really good around the basket. He's rebounding the ball at a very high clip. We're actually finishing a lot of games now with Berke at the 5 spot, and he's battling the posts. And, I think when you look at what we did against Hawaii, their leading scorer, we held him scoreless, and then you go into the Oregon State game, and they played through their bigs. And I thought we did a tremendous job of really slowing those guys down. And a lot of that was Berke's post defense, along with Braxton, Mia, and Andrew Morgan. So, that's going to come back to be a really good win, that Oregon State game there in the championship. So, Berke just on both sides of the floor. From an analytics standpoint, he's one of our top defenders, and you can just see his confidence growing on the offensive end.
You told us this going into this year about Andrew Morgan, how hard he plays, but boy, he gives it his all every time he's out on the court.
Well, that's the other thing that I was really pleased. It was a different guy every night. It was Andrew in that first game.
Yep.
We just went to him and fed him and got him the ball and took advantage of his size. And he went to work and showed a variety of moves, up and unders, spin moves to the baseline, hit a little jumper over his right shoulder. And, like you said, Jessica, he sets the tone with his energy out there. And then Bryce, when you look at the second game, and then it was, Jawan, I think was 1 point shy of a career high. I thought Sam was really good in the championship game. He was all over the place, hit a big 3 for us to take the lead back. And, it was fun to see everybody that stepped on the floor had a contribution. Connor was terrific. Raleigh had, certainly had some really good stretches as well. But overall, I thought top to bottom, our guys were all locked in.
What I think is so fun to watch about your guys is they look to find the hot hand. When somebody is feeling it any given night, they are searching to get that guy involved. How do you go about getting a group of guys to buy into that, hey, when it's this guy's night, it's his night, and we're going to do whatever we can to keep him going.
I mean, you could see that. The Hawaii game, which was a tight game, our guys knew at the end Bryce had to touch the ball, and they got it to him. And, Bryce, again, scored it from the 3, got some mid-range shots against the zone, found some holes in there, and the same thing against Oregon State. When we needed a bucket, those guys found Bryce. When Connor had it going, they found Connor in transition. We've really stressed that when he gets it going, we have to find him and do a better job in transition when he's running free to get him the ball and get him a shot. And you saw that against Southern. I think he hit 6 threes for the 3rd time in a game this season. That is not easy to do. I think, when you look at Casey's career, his career high, he never made more than 6. And Connor's already had 3 games where he's made 6 threes. And, I give our guys a lot of credit. That shows you it's an unselfish team that's all about winning.
How do you get them to buy into that and just seeing that, hey, this is what works?
Well, I think it's just the makeup of the guys. It's what they're all about. It's in their DNA, And again, sometimes you have a selfish group. If things aren't going well, you see somebody try to force it. And I thought we had a little bit of that maybe early. We had one game, I think it was the Bethune game, where we really just tried to force it and play in a crowd and play in a pile. Since that game, I think we've been pretty good as far as making the right play, making the simple play. We're still turning the ball over too much, Jessica. That's one thing, and that worries me about Saturday because UCLA is the highest steal percentage team in the country, and if we try to play in a crowd, it's not going to be pretty.
All right, we're going to get to our first break here on our Nebraska men's basketball show. Dorothy Lynch Homestyle and Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. Again, 402-413-2400 is that number if you want to text in a question or comment for Coach Hoiberg. We're back with more coming up after this.
It's the final days of the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Cap off the year with 1.9 financing plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. This New Year's, we're counting down with the best deals on your favorite Ford vehicles. Don't drop the ball. Time is running out. The final days of the year-end sales event are on now. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Get 1.9 financing for 60 months plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Nebraska soybeans power everyday products, from Goodyear tires and Skechers shoes to soy-based turf and fire suppressants. These innovations replace petroleum and utilize other components of the soybean, leading to more sustainable products worldwide.
I'm Doug Sadoff, a farmer near Trumbull, Nebraska. Thanks to cutting-edge research, soybeans are now in everything from tires to turf. It's amazing to see how these advancements are unlocking new potential for our crops.
Soybeans are a win for every product and everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
There's something to be said for American-made, but at Monolith, we're helping create Nebraska-made. From here in Nebraska, we're producing low-emission carbon black for tires across North America. Soon we'll be providing farmers with locally made fertilizer to reduce our reliance on foreign imports. We're investing hundreds of millions in our multiple Nebraska facilities and employing Nebraskans in high-paying jobs that support families and communities. Monolith, Nebraska-made.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88.
Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens.
I'm Jason Pinky, a farmer near Craig, Nebraska. Soybeans are vital for feeding our livestock, and they're also a powerhouse protein source for people worldwide. Our world needs protein, and Nebraska soybeans are making a difference.
From tailgate grills to global plates, farmers deliver affordable, nutritious protein to build muscle and energy for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, tell me about Toyotathon.
Well, from now until January 6th is the perfect time to get a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more.
Oh, how exciting! So what can you do in a new Toyota this holiday season?
With a new RAV4, you can go snowboarding with your friends.
I love dashing through the snow.
Take a Camry to a tree lighting ceremony.
Sounds merry and bright.
Or even load up the family in a Highlander to go ice skating.
What a jolly good time. So, Jan, got any red Tacomas? After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Florida? I'm there.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers, Corin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
The Nebraska Men's Basketball Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. Welcome back to our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour with the head coach, Fred Hoiberg. I'm Jessica Coody. Well, Coach, your other son had some success out in Hawaii, too. Charlie won a little free night stay in Hawaii while he was out there, beat Santa Claus.
Yeah, beat Santa Claus in a little competition. My wife videoed it, and it was pretty funny. He was a good player. He actually probably was the best shooter. Either my daughter might argue that, but yeah. So Charlie had a little competition where they had to change shoes and then open up a suitcase and then carry the suitcase and make a layup, and he made it on his first try. So proud of Charlie. Won a 2-night stay. Unfortunately, didn't have airfare's not included, so he gets the trip over there. It's a 2-day stay on the Big Island. So yeah, but
So they want you to spend the money on the airline to get back there.
I'm a little surprised because that tournament is sponsored by Hawaiian Airlines, so you would think that they would have included.
Yeah.
So
has he figured out when he's going to go back yet?
Well, I don't know. I think he's gonna have to save up to buy his flight. So we'll see.
Oh, that's great. Well, I had said Bryce McGowan's earlier when I was asked about Bryce Williams, but we mentioned it. He had 46 points, broke the record there. It was unbelievable. Just was shooting out of his mind. 3 of 4 from 3-point. I think 17 of 22 field goal percentage. Just how about him and just his impact that he's been able to make as a pro?
Yeah, it's awesome to see, and that's what you have to do to get back on the full-time roster. And he's on a 2-way contract right now, and he's been back and forth. And to go out and have a game like that, hopefully that will get him more minutes on the big team. He and Delano actually are playing together out there, which is kind of fun to see. And, I think as the season goes on, he'll get more and more minutes and more opportunity. And then it's about taking advantage of it and hopefully getting a long-term contract out of it.
How much has Bryce Williams helped improve his draft stock, his potential at the next level?
Well, I think he's showing with his size and his athleticism, his length. The thing that I've been really pleased is he's taking a lot of pride on the defensive end right now. And I think we just moved into the top 10 in our defensive efficiency ranking. And it all starts with Bryce. We're putting Bryce on the ball. Raleigh has times on the ball, but Raleigh generally with his size is able to guard, the shooting guard, and then Sam and Aaron will come in and guard the point guard as well. But, Bryce, it starts with him. He's the head of the snake on the defensive end. And, that's what's going to get him, I think, his stock the highest is going out there and guarding, making shots. He's been a 40% career three-point shooter. And, the thing that he's really shown is poise and leadership. And those are the things that next level is looking for. So, just in having conversations with scouts, and there was quite a few at the Southern game that came to our game and then went to the Creighton-St. John's game the next day. He's on a lot of people's radar right now. And now it's about staying consistent, continuing to do things, let the game come to him, don't force it, and continuing to guard.
On the defensive note, Nate Lenzer, what is it about him that's made him so good at what he's doing defensively with your group? He was saying that he never really coached, wasn't like a defensive guy until the last couple of years, and he said whatever you ask him to do, he wants to do. But how has he been able to figure it out and be so good at it so quickly?
Yeah, he's been awesome. The thing that makes Nate Lenzer so great is he's never off. And when you watch him in the office when he's working, even he does all the scouts for us. Every coach has their responsibility, and everybody's been great. Coach Howard helps me with the offense, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. Ernie does all the special teams and a lot of the toughness things with our team, and he's been terrific in that role as well. But, I've given Nate the responsibility of putting game plans together, and then he and I will discuss it and talk about it. And when he brings me ideas, very rarely do I change anything when he comes, to me with a game plan. And really, I think it kind of got in the map with the Creighton game, but he's been doing this, for a couple of years now. And when you look at us last year defensively, we had a couple guys out there that I wouldn't say were lockdown defenders. So it had to be a system that protected some of those players to make sure they were on the floor because of how important they were on the offensive end. This year, I think we have a little bit more defensive when you look at our length and when you look at the versatility on that end of the floor. And Nate's done a great job of, putting guys in a great position to go out there and defend and, have active hands and, hopefully create turnovers on that end. But it's just his work ethic. I've never seen a guy or worked with a guy like him, and he and I have been together for a long time, going back to our days at Iowa State. We brought him on as a grad assistant and then put him in a video spot, took him to the Bowls with me, and, very fortunate to have him back on our staff now.
Yeah, take me back to when you guys brought him on. What did you like about him that you thought there's something special here? And then why have you kept him around and just kept going back to him on your staff for so long?
Well, and the other thing about it is player development.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that speaks. You talk about Bryce McGowan's. When he's in the offseason or over All-Star break, he'll come back here and work out with Nate.
Yeah.
And, those are, I think, when you have guys that can go work out with anybody and you have trainers all over the country and the world, that work these guys out. I think it speaks volumes when guys come back into our gym and do player development in the off season. So, again, all the things that, Nate does, our staff does on the court, with game prep and planning, I would say we put equally as much time into the player development. And, Nate Lenzer, Adam Howard, Ernie Ziegler, he was working with Braxton, when I came over here to do the show. And, that's what it's about. And that's, relationship building time as well, which is very important.
You have always been known as an offensive guy, but how has that evolution happened for you, realizing that you needed to make more of an emphasis or really be good on the defensive end?
Well, we've always emphasized it.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit better, defenders right now. And again, it's about the buy-in. You got to have the right group out there. We had a couple teams at Iowa State that ended up being in the top 50, in defense. And, right now it's gone to a whole nother level. And again, I give Nate a lot of credit in that. And I give our staff a lot of credit for putting a system together that fits who our guys are. And, that's part of it too. On both ends of the floor, you have to find a system that works based on skill level and based on the skill set, on both ends of the floor. We've run a bunch of different offenses over the years, just based on, going back to Royce White, we were one of the first teams to play 5 out and put the ball in, more of a point forward. Royce called himself a hybrid. And then we went that way with George Niang and now with Derek and last year with Rink. And then we're completely different this year because we don't have, the same type of facilitator at the top of the floor with our 5-man. So it's just all about, figuring out who your guys are and then, putting the system in accordingly.
Your guys are also really good at when you force the turnover, converting it into offense. How is that process too, getting a team to be good on the defensive end, but then very quickly transition that to offense?
Well, we talk a lot about that. This team, we're not, I don't think, as gifted offensively, individually this year as maybe we were a year ago. But, forcing turnovers, getting out in the break, and, capitalizing and scoring points off of turnovers has been one thing we've done pretty well so far this season. And, again, with the length, we talk a lot about not only contesting shots, but contesting passes and, trying to get deflections or create a looping pass where hopefully you can run through the passing lane or at least close out and buy your rotations time. And, again, I think we've done a solid job overall as a group, and we've grown. Early on, I think, we weren't as good in our rotations, but we've gotten much better.
All right, got to get to another break here on our Nebraska men's basketball show. Got one more segment left with the head coach. Husker Extra is the best website and mobile app for everything Husker sports, from the experts at the Omaha World Herald and Lincoln Journal-Star. Go to huskerextra.com or search your app store today. Back with more with Coach Hoiberg coming up on the other side of this.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, tell me about Toyotathon.
Well, from now until January 6th is the perfect time to get a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more.
Oh, how exciting! So what can you do in a new Toyota this holiday season?
With a new RAV4, you can go snowboarding with your friends.
I love dashing through the snow.
Take a Camry to a tree lighting ceremony.
Sounds merry and bright.
Or even load up the family in a Highlander to go ice skating.
What a jolly good time. So, Jan, got any red Tacomas? After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Florida? I'm there.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers, Corin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Welcome back to our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour. I'm Jessica Coody here with the head coach, Fred Hoiberg. Just one final segment left, and we're going to hear from Connor Essegian. Well, Coach, UCLA coming to town, and there's some history there, actually. You just read a cool little nugget the last time that UCLA came here, Nebraska won and had some family ties.
Yeah, sounds like 1956. My grandpa coached that team to a big win. So, yeah, pretty cool.
It's going to be alumni weekend. How special is that? How important is that for you guys to have those guys come back year in and year out?
It was great. It was one of the most memorable things for me last year when Coach Nee came back and that team was recognized and won the Big 8 championship in '94, I believe it was. And, it was great to relive some memories with Coach. He was in my house for a home visit in Ames, Iowa. I remember him came in this, Armani suit and, sat in there. And, it was a great visit. He was an unbelievable recruiter. And then to compete against those great teams that he had, in the time we were there. And, just to, have really good conversations with him. So I just loved that last year with Alumni Weekend. And then this year we got a really good turnout. We got a lot of people coming back. And I'm excited to get to talk to some. Henry T. Buchanan was at practice today. I think a lot of them will be at our practice tomorrow morning, and it'll be good to see them tomorrow night at the dinner, and after the game we'll have a little gathering as well.
That interview you guys did with Coach Nee was one of the most epic radio segments of all time.
Yeah,
last year when you guys had him on the show.
Yeah, I didn't have to say much. It was perfect. We'll have to get him back on the docket.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about this matchup with UCLA. You talked about them earlier. One of the top defensive teams. They're physical, right? Yeah, they're tough. They give up 58 a game. Like I said, taking care of the basketball is going to be very important. We can't over-penetrate. We can't try to play in small spaces. They're going to be in there. They're very active with their hands.
and they really swarm the ball. So just simple plays. A lot of times one dribble is going to be good enough. One dribble, kick it, and hopefully create some open looks. And, defensively, we're going to have to finish possessions. They're really good on the glass. They're big. They're strong. They're athletic. And, starts getting back in transition, and a big part of that is taking care of the ball, not giving them pick six baskets on the other end. But, again, it's all about going out and competing. Early starts, important to get off to a fast start in the game and hopefully play well for 40.
You guys protected the home court in conference play last year. How important is that to get off to a good start and, again, defend home court inside PBA?
Yeah, it's so important. And, we've got 2 tough road games after this one. We go to Iowa in a late game and then Purdue in an early game on Sunday. So, it's important to take care of home court. It's what allowed us, I think, to play in the postseason last year, and that starts on Sunday.
What is it about the crowd?
Saturday.
Yeah. What is it about? I mean, just I was talking to Connor. We're going to hear from here in just a few minutes, but just how much does that fuel your guys? What is it about how they are in that building that makes it second to none compared to across the country?
Yeah, it's one of the best venues. I think we're second in attendance, I saw, behind Indiana in the early portion of the schedule. And, our guys feed off that. And, for us, without students, in the last game against Southern, I was amazed at how full the building was at an 8 o'clock game on a snowy night. And I know there's going to be great energy, in the PBA on Saturday, and I know it's going to be that way the rest of the season.
All right, last thing, we got Connor Sejan coming up. He just seems to be loving his time here in Nebraska. He just seems to be playing with so much joy.
He really does, and he learned from a really good coach in Greg Gard, and you can tell he's got a defensive IQ, and he goes out there and he battles. He's not the biggest kid in the world, but he tries. He gives a great effort. Larry Brown, my first coach in the NBA, I'll never forget this. He said, if you give an honest effort defensively, you're going to be fine and you're going to make it. Connor does that, and his ability to get hot, knock down shots. We needed a guy like that when you lose Casey, when you lose CJ, when you lose guys that could put the ball in the basket. We had to replace that, and Connor has become that guy for us. And, our guys are doing a better job, as I said earlier, finding him in transition, and he's going to be a big key for us the rest of the year.
Awesome. Thanks. Best of luck coming up on Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Jessica.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Connor. Keep it here on Sports Nightly, our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Meese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, this is Coach Hoiberg thanking you for supporting our program. Your passion and presence have created one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. Additionally, thank you for supporting your Husker student athletes through contributions to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. 100% of your contributions to 1890 go to Husker athletes, positively affecting their lives in so many ways. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 today and go Big Red.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back to our final segment of our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour for the week. I'm Jessica Coody, and Connor Esijan has really provided a spark for this Nebraska Men's basketball team off the bench. He's been in the starting lineup a few times as well, but coming off a 20-point performance, so 20 points, 6 of 12 from 3-point, 6 rebounds against Southern, and his third 20-point performance of the season so far. But he's a guy who transferred from Wisconsin. We're talking to him in the summer, and you know how excited he was to get to work with Coach Hoiberg, and he is loving being a Husker. He had a lot to say about when he was a competitor coming into Pinnacle Bank Arena, how much he loves now having this home crowd behind him. But here is my conversation with Connor Esijan. Now a semester into this, how have you liked being a Husker?
I've loved it. It's been amazing. Every minute of it. From the moment I stepped on campus all the way up until now, halfway done through year 1.
What have you enjoyed the most about being at Nebraska?
Just the culture, the way the fans and the people are very interactive. They're very supportive. You know, just being with the guys. We have a really good group of guys, a good coaching staff, and everybody's fun to be around, and everything, you know, that has to do with Nebraska is fun to be around.
So when you decided to come to enter the transfer portal and then you were looking at Nebraska, what were some of the things that you're like, okay, that's going to be a good fit for me?
Knowing Coach Hoiberg's offense, obviously playing against it for 2 years, knowing basically, you know, the ins and outs, and knowing that he's been where I want to go in the same position. I mean, that's been great, and, you know, just kind of being able to be here, honestly, and playing here. You know, twice before I got here was a big part too, and seeing the environment, because I love college basketball. It's a pretty cool thing. So being able to see, you know, the experience that's been here has been really cool. And honestly, I wanted to stay in the Big Ten.
Where are some of the parts of your game you felt like have already improved working under Coach Hoiberg and this staff?
My defense definitely has. The system they have is really good and works for everybody. And also, you know, they've been on me about, you know, not being one-dimensional, and, you know, when things aren't going, finding other ways to do other things, and, you know, that's just being able to enjoy the game again.
The moving without the basketball, Coach Hoiberg has really bragged on you on that. How has that developed for you? How important has that become to add that to your game?
It's been something that I've had to use a little bit, obviously growing up being a shooter. Defenses have tried to take away my shot, you know, most of my entire career, so. But here you really, you know, you learn it big time. And he puts me and other guys in positions where you have a decision to make. You get the chance to be able to read the defense, and being able to do that every day in practice and in games, it really helps you grow just by being, you know, in that fire.
Coach Hoiberg said it, that you're one of the best shooters he's ever been around, but here in these last few games and over the course of so far this season, what has allowed you to really get going offensively?
Having guys that are, you know, that are really good at being able to read the floor, being able to cut the floor and make passes that, you know, not a lot of guys can make, and also having a coaching staff that, you know, believes in you and wants you to do well, and honestly pushes you to be better every day, and having coaches that, you know, believe in my shot, believe in what I do is big time.
Why is that so important?
Being able to instill confidence in somebody is probably the biggest thing that you can do for someone, especially being a shooter. I mean, if you don't think it's going in, it's not going to go in. So being able to have, you know, a coaching staff that does that helps big time.
Playing alongside a guy like Bryce Williams, how has that opened up things for you as well?
Bryce is a dog. He's a dog. He knows how to put the ball in the hole, and not only that, I feel like he's doing a lot better job of being able to create for others too, and that's big time. He's going to be playing basketball for a long time, and being able to play with a guy like that can put up 30 or be able to guard their person's best defender or ball handler or whatever it is very unique to be able to play with someone like that, and he's a good guy off the court too, so I love playing with Bryce.
You mentioned just the group of guys that you're around. How special has it been to be a part of a group of players that have so much chemistry? It seems like you guys really enjoy playing together. How is that different for a player when you are part of something like that?
Everybody just feeds off each other, which is huge. We meshed pretty quick in the summer right away, and when we first got here, the transfers were all together, and the returners were all kind of together, and you could see the chemistry already starting to build, and then once teams started to mix up, it just took off. And being able to have games where we haven't played well and had to fight through and learn through a lot of mistakes and a lot of things has helped us grow. And we competed almost every day, and that helps us a lot. And like tonight, we got a team dinner, so stuff like that. The little things really help, and being able to have guys, especially just having so many transfers coming in, usually not a lot of times it meshes as easy as it does here and what has happened. So it's definitely been a blessing to be around a lot of these guys.
All right, take me back to Hawaii, the first regular season tournament that this program has won since 2000. Why was that important for you guys to go perform well and bring home some hardware?
You're bringing back some hardware to Lincoln is always fun, and it kind of brings a little juice, to the team. Being able to get one championship when we have goals of getting more this year, and it was not only that, it was a good time. We were able to relax a little bit, ease our minds being out in Hawaii, which isn't too bad. But having to be able to see that we can win championships no matter what level it's at, we just got to carry that over into what we can do here in the Big Ten.
How was the surfing in Hawaii?
I tried my best, but it was pretty awful. At least the views were great, being out in the ocean. But I was not a great surfer at all.
So shooting well in the court does not translate to catching waves.
I wish it did, but it definitely does not.
Just the shooting aspect of your game. Where and how did that start for you? How did you become such an elite shooter?
When I started out playing, that was 100% not my game at all. I was more of I didn't shoot the ball at all. It just wasn't me. And growing up, there was a gym. It was the Police Athletic League. It was a gym that was very fortunate to be able to let me and our AAU program, Team Focus, to be able to use, and it had a shooting gun in there. And basically every day before high school, even sometimes when it got to middle school, I would do it almost every night. I would get up almost 1,000 shots, if not 1,000, every day. And as I got more reps and got more comfortable shooting the ball, it just elevated my game. It's just the reps that I got up.
Have you had to tweak your shot at all along the way to be able to still have that kind of ability to knock it down at this level?
Yeah. Now I try to just be consistent with what I do, but at one point, there were things like not extending my guide arm or, twisting a lot, and I almost shot sideways at one point. So, that basically made my range limited, and once I figured out to fix a couple little things, it really helps.
So if there's like some young basketball player listening and that want to become a shooter, what's your advice?
Honestly, watching film on your own shot and other shots is big, but also just get the reps up. Believe that you're the best shooter on the court when you step on it, and good things can happen.
When you have a night like some of the nights you've had where just everything is going in, describe that feeling where it feels like it's going into the ocean, right?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, especially when the ball goes in the hole. But part about being a good shooter is always having that confidence. If you miss one, you got to think the next one's going in, and if you don't, then usually it tapers off. So that's just how I was that game. I felt like if I missed one, I was like, next one's going in, and it basically did that game. So
with this program too, it seems like whoever has a hot hand, guys are trying to find. What does that mean to you too? And I guess, what is it about this program that whoever it is, hey, we're getting them the ball?
Something Coach Hoiberg loves to do. He played basketball at a really high level, obviously playing in the NBA, and if he got hot, I know he wanted the ball too. So it's a good feeling too, knowing that Everybody in the program, the team, the coaching staff wants you to succeed. And when they're pushing you to continue to stay hot, when you get hot, it's a good feeling, and honestly, it keeps you hot, which is a really, really great thing.
It speaks to the unselfishness, though, of this group, though, right? That, hey, we don't care about getting ours. If this guy's the guy that's going to help us win tonight, we want to do whatever we can to get him the ball.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's Bryce, sometimes it's Juwan, sometimes it's whoever, and that's just part of the culture that we have, and being able to love each other and be around each other so much, and our mesh together is what causes that to be able to happen.
How much fun are you having? It seems like you're just playing with so much joy right now.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. I love playing basketball. I'm not going to be able to play basketball forever, especially here, only having a year and a half left, now here. And it sounds crazy that I'm already at this point in my career, and you just got to have fun with it because it doesn't last forever.
You've talked about playing in this building as a competitor. How has it been having this crowd behind you?
Oh, it's so much better. I mean, the last 2 times I played in here, my freshman and sophomore year, it didn't end well for us. So, and the crowd was pretty unbelievable, and student section was rowdy behind us. Like, it's a great environment here, and I'm so glad to be on this side.
Where would you rank this building when it's rocking among some of the best places to play?
Honestly, when we played here last year, I thought it was the best environment we played in. Realistically, it was. At the time, we were 6th in the country coming in here, and this place was rocking. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are about to head into Big Ten play. It's a gauntlet every year. It got even harder this year with the additions of the team. What goes into, being able to compete and sustain and go through a Big Ten season and be where you guys want to be at the end of this?
Big Ten is tough. Like you said, it's a gauntlet, and every game in and out is going to be tough. And I kind of talked about it post-game is that, we just got to be on top of our bodies and making sure that we're staying healthy and making sure we're feeling the best we can every day because it's huge. Every game is a battle, no matter the top or the bottom of the Big Ten. It's just how it is. And to have a team like this coming in here right away, that's going to be one of the most physical teams, and obviously they're one of the better defensive teams in the country. It's going to test us right away. So to be able to lean on each other, nobody can do it by themselves, especially in this league, and it's going to be important that we all, help each other out.
This team did it last year. How important is it protecting this court?
It's big. Coach Hoiberg talks about it all the time. We were 10-0 in the Big Ten year last year, and that's huge. Huge in the Big Ten to win at home because it's tough to win on the road, and so if we can snag, some on the road, that would be big time.
Great stuff. I appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, that was fun. Appreciate Connor Sejan sitting down and spending some time with us here today after practice. All right, so again, it'll be a 1:10 o'clock tip on Saturday afternoon. We'll be on the air with the pregame show with Kemp Pavelka, Jake Muehlheisen starting at noon on Saturday. It's number 15 UCLA will be here in Lincoln, and the Bruins, one of the best defenses in the country. UCLA in the top 10 nationally in scoring defense, just over 58 points per game, which ranks 8th. Turnovers forced, over 18 a game in turnover margin. So going to be a tough physical game. Huskers got to take care of the basketball, but this is a big one coming up, protecting the home court. As we heard Coach say, it was a big reason why I felt like they were able to get in the postseason is what they did on the home court last year, going 10-0. And the Huskers are currently looking for win. They've won 19 straight at home, dating back to December 10th, 2023. And if with a win against UCLA, it would match a program record for consecutive wins at home. So a big one coming up on Saturday against UCLA for Nebraska men's basketball. Then they'll be on the road at Iowa on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. All right, we have a final in the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame defeats Penn State Notre Dame knocks off Georgia. Notre Dame will play Penn State. I was looking at the screen up there. They already have the graphic up. They'll play on January 9th, but Notre Dame beats Georgia 23-10 in the Sugar Bowl. So the college football semifinal playoff is set. We will talk much more college football coming up in hour number 2. Jeremiah Sirles, the big dog, joining us next. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the final days of the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Cap off the year with 1.9 financing plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. This New Year's, we're counting down with the best deals on your favorite Ford vehicles. Don't drop the ball. Time is running out. The final days of the year-end sales event are on now. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Get 1.9 financing for 60 months plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
Good evening, I'm Russ Brown, and tonight's Sports Ticker is brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services. Plenty of action on the hardwood in the Big Ten. Penn State leads Northwestern 37-34 at the half. Just about to get underway, Purdue visits Minnesota. Rutgers is at Indiana. That tips at 7:30 tonight. At 8:30, Maryland visits Washington. And number 22, Illinois visits number 9, Oregon. That is a 9 o'clock tip-off. One game on the women's side tonight. Number 8, Maryland leads Rutgers 40-22. They are at the half in that one. 6 games in the NBA tonight. The Pacers lead the Heat 26-17 with about 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter in that one. The T-Wolves lead the Celtics 34-28 after 1 quarter. Later tonight, the Nets visit the Bucks. The Clippers are at the Thunder. The 76ers are at the Warriors. And the Blazers will visit the Lakers. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is on the way right here on the Husker Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
So 4th and 1, Nebraska going for it, getting big. Robinson is the fullback. Under center, Raiola hands it off. Foot forward for Ramir Johnson, still pushing forward. 30, 25, and Ramir Johnson moves the sticks. The Harlem Kid with a fresh set of downs for the Big Red here at Yankee Stadium.
Now inside the Buchengel, point blank, wheels one way, now the other, lost the handle, kicks it out, 1 on the shot clock, it's up, it's no good, they keep it alive, Hoiberg's got it, Hoiberg to a season, 55 seconds left to go. Nebraska has the basketball, up by 6, the drive by Williams, puts it up and in! Williams takes that puppy and kisses it in off the glass. And that may shut the door on this thing.
UCLA has missed their last 8 shot attempts. Out top, Prince for 3 to take the lead. You betcha! Prince knocks down a Central Valley egg 3. Timeout UCLA. And let me give you some context.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. Appreciate the head coach, Fred Hoiberg, stopping by, spending the first hour with us. But let's talk a little football now with Jeremiah Sirles going to fill in for us as Greg Sharpe has the night off tonight. Sirles, Happy New Year. How was it? Did you let the kids stay up to midnight?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? No, it was good. We did. We actually watched the London ball drop at 7 p.m.
Oh, nice.
And we did my wife's amazing. She did put the balloons up and tape it to the ceiling and do the whole pull down Happy New Year. And she put it like a little spread out. We just had a little at home New Year's Eve thing, but I watched that Boise Penn State game. As soon as that game was over, straight to bed. I was asleep by 10:30.
Josh did something similar with his kids, so that's cool that you allowed them to think that it was midnight or whatever and celebrated it.
Yeah, chance of them staying up till midnight is 0.
Well, I do want to, we haven't had a chance to chat with you since the Pinstripe Bowl, so I do want to dive into that. But before that, man, what have been your takeaways from this college football playoff? How about Ohio State? They might be the national champs if they play like that.
Wow. I mean, that's who we thought Ohio State was always going to be.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's when you turn on an Ohio State football team and you watch it, you go, yeah, that checks out. Right? That's NFL talent showing up. That's big-time wide receivers that are freshmen showing up. And they were as flawless as I've seen them play yesterday. And if that's how they're getting energy and they're getting momentum going into the playoff, into the semis here, I don't want to play them. That is maybe the hottest team in college football right now. I mean, you look at Penn State, you look at Texas, you look at Georgia, you look at all these other schools, and you're going, they look good, but nobody expected Ohio State to go out and just throttle Oregon. Just throttle them up and down. And I mean, I don't know if Oregon just wasn't ready for it or what happened. A neutral site plays that much difference than playing in Autzen, but wow, the Big Ten in general is looking really strong right now.
So are you of the camp that Oregon should have gotten the Texas
path?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I think that regular season wins need to mean something. You know, if you win out and you're undefeated and you're your conference champion, you should have the cakewalk to the path. That is the way it should work. It's the way the FCS level does it. It's the way the NFL does it, right? You should have the #1 seed, which means you play the worst team seeding-wise all the way up into the playoff. And what baffles my mind is that the NCAA FBS couldn't just, you know, they're in NCAA headquarters, walk over, get in the elevator, go down into the basement with the place where there's no windows to the FCS level of the NCAA and say, hey, how do you guys do this? Because you're pretty dang successful at it. And let them figure it out because they've been doing it for years. The seating was really screwed up. Oregon got hosed, but at the same time, you can't really say you got hosed if you get blown out.
Right.
Right, that's the hard part. That's the hard part of the argument is you can be like, well, we should have been playing them. It's like, yeah, but you did, and you got murdered.
I'm not sure Oregon could have beaten Arizona State yesterday.
Yeah, they were not in a good place. And, yeah, I mean, Arizona State, another great game. But, yeah, I don't know what – Oregon did not look good. Dan Lanning's got some serious questions to answer as to why his football team played the way they did.
Okay, so you mentioned this. How about Penn State and just continuing to win and find themselves in the national semifinals?
Yeah, I mean, another one that's building it on the backs of their defense. You know, even with Abdul Carter being out for most of that game, they still were just smothering. I mean, that game was never in question. Granted, again, I don't think Boise should have got a bye. Right? I don't think Boise should have got a bye. But they knew that they had to come out, handle business, and eventually you knew that Penn State was just going to continue to lean on them and lean on them and lean on them. And eventually Boise State was just going to run out of gas. Right? The depth of talent at a Penn State versus a Boise State is crazy. And when you start talking about a 60-minute game, you just run out of warm bodies at Boise State that have energy and gas in the tank. And Penn State's got a very good offensive line, multiple all-conference players. Drew Aller's playing at a very high level. Obviously, that tight end is ridiculous. And they just kept finding ways to make plays. And then they made sure, they said, hey, Ashton Genty, not going to beat us. Right? It makes someone else beat us. And they just focused fully on him. And Boise tried to make some plays there as of late. But Penn State's another team that finished the year so strong, kind of backdoored their way into the Big Ten championship, but has made the most of every opportunity. And now you're talking about having Penn State and Ohio State, two blue blood Big Ten programs in the semifinals.
Well, listen, I sat there and watched the first 5 minutes of that Texas-Arizona State game. I'm like, here we go, another blowout. This is going to be brutal. And just the size difference, I mean, you could see it on TV between the Texas O-line and the Arizona State D-line, but credit the Sun Devils. Boy, they fought and made it a game, and that ended up being one of the more exciting playoff games so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I don't know if that's not called targeting.
Yeah.
What is targeting, right? Like, I've seen way less be called. I've seen way worse be called. I mean, the SEC commissioner must have dialed up the refs real quick and be like, hey, no, you can't do this, right? Because that was ridiculous. But hats off to Arizona State. I mean, a team that no one really talked about all year. Again, a team I don't think deserved a bye. But again, winning the Big 12 and first year in it, that coach being electric and coaches with energy, as he likes to say, and being able to get his team rallied to come out there. And obviously with Scadaboo doing his thing, you know, it was super fun to watch. I think Texas got very lucky, extremely lucky at the end there. And again, I think it's time to move on to Archie Manning. I don't like Quinn Ewers. I just don't.
You've been saying that since week 2 this year.
I know, and I'm right. Watch, when Archie Manning wins the Heisman next year, y'all will see. Y'all will see.
How about Scadaboo, too, just winning the offensive MVP from a losing team? I think they said it hadn't happened in 26 years. But he's fiery, too. But he literally left it all on the field. I mean, props to him, kudos to him. You could tell that he didn't have an ounce left when that game was over.
Yeah, I mean, that dude played his absolute nuts off, and he was just going after dudes. And you kind of have to when you talk the talk the way that he did leading up to this game. And I can remember after the Big 12 championship game, you know, he went to the press conference and says, I'm the best running back in the country. You put a statement out like that you better back it up the next time you're out on that gridiron. And hats off to him. He did it. And even when they're trying to bottle him up and not let him get going, he stayed with it. And you see the passion, you see the heart on the sideline, and, he's throwing up over there and whatnot. It's like, do you out of shape? You have one too many beers over Christmas break, or what's going on here, bud? But, he just definitely, that touchdown run he had in the fourth quarter where he just drugged Texas defenders with him was incredible. And you could see the way his teammates rallied around him. Yeah, he played a great football game, and I think he's going to give himself a chance to get drafted in the NFL.
Okay, I thought of you immediately on the touchdown where his offensive lineman drug him in.
Oh, yeah.
How fired up were you?
I loved it. I was like, yeah, get him, pull him in, do it, push, pull, drag, rip, claw, who cares? At that point, there's no rules. Just do whatever you can to get that ball across that little white line. And, you never really watch the O-lineman after a score touchdown, right? Everyone goes to the ball carrier or whatnot. But after that O-lineman, pulled him in, all their 4 offensive linemen all ran over and were, patting him on the head, nice job, right? Well, everyone else is celebrating, scatterboo. I'm like, no, that was him, man. He drug him in, rolled him over the top of him. That was a great unselfish play.
I mean, he picked him up and drug him in, and that's not an easy dude to carry either.
No. Yeah, that's not a light human being, right? That's a dense human.
Okay, so we still obviously a little bit more to unfold with the Sugar Bowl, but right now, who is your pick to win the national championship?
That's tough. Looking at it based off just the performances that I've seen, and obviously, there's a game going on right now, but I think I have to go Ohio State. And mostly because the last 2 at-bats Ohio State has had have been very, very strange, right? You had them lose to Michigan, and then you had them go out, and who'd they beat in the first round?
Ohio State beat Tennessee.
Tennessee, right? Then
Tennessee.
Then they go dismantle Tennessee at home, right? And they go, okay, I see what's happening here. Then they go to the quarters and they dismantle Oregon. And they are hitting on all cylinders. That is maybe the most talented team in the Final Four. And if they can play like that, and Will Howard can play like that, I don't know if there's a team that can match up skill for them as they head into the thing. So I had Oregon winning the whole thing initially, and now with them beating Oregon, I got to give the nod to Ohio State. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, if Ohio State plays like that, I don't think anybody can beat them. I don't care what anybody else does. And you go back to when Nebraska played Ohio State, and that crowd was restless, and they were salty. And then now look at what they're doing. They're right on pace to where everyone thought that they were going to be, as you mentioned, going into this season, the most talented roster. I liked what they did, though, too. They pointed out yesterday, as much as they say, they're paying guys to come in here, but that defense for Ohio State were 5th and 6th year guys. The only one was that the defensive back that transferred in from Bama, and that's a Ohio State bred defense that have guys that have been there and been a part of the program. So it's not like they just put that thing together this year. So I appreciate that with Ohio State, that's a group of guys that have been together and have played a lot of football together. But it just is, here we are, the Ohio State were calling for Ryan Day's head, their fans were, and now here they are. It's like they bonded together over the doubt and the hate that were surrounding them, and it was a us against the world mentality, and it is paying off for them.
Yeah, it's wild to think that at the end of November, everyone was screaming for Ryan Day's head, right? Hey, fire him. He can't beat Michigan, and it's over. He couldn't get anyone to get excited for anything, right? And now he's got a chance to be coaching in the national championship, and they might throw him a dang parade. Right? It just goes to show you how fickle college football is, how unpredictable college football is, from honestly a week-to-week basis, the rivalries, the emotion that runs with games, especially when it comes to rivalry games like Michigan, how talent throw out the window, record throw out the window. Those games are just going to be so hard fought. But I do think Ryan Day is a very good football coach. I think he knows how to get guys ready to play. I think he knows how to scheme well. I think he's prepared and surrounded himself with the proper type of coaches around him. And you see his players play for him. His players love him, right? So, yeah, it's one of those things where Dan Lanning had one of the best college football seasons ever for Oregon, and now he's going to have to go home and answer questions about what happened, and there's going to be people that are going to be angry and want his head too. Right? It's impossible to please everyone, but I'm excited for Ryan Day. I'm excited for guys like Sarkisian and guys that have weathered some tough times and then find themselves here in a position to go really actually compete for the big one again.
It's all about playing the best football at the right time, and that's what Ohio State is. It doesn't really matter at this point what they did in November or October. It's they're getting it done right now. Last thing I wanted to ask you about, just on overall college football, how about the scuttle, the little beef between Brett Bielema and Shane Beamer, and how about Illinois, the Fighting Illini, a 10-win season?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a strange thing. I mean, I didn't even think that they were a 10-win team. I remember Greg texted us that, and I was like, really? Illinois? Like, okay. But at the same time, Brett Bielema, he knows how to coach in the Big Ten. That is something, I mean, death, taxes, Brett Bielema wins 10 games. Right? That's just kind of how it's become for him, and I thought that was hilarious. Shane Beamer, stop being so sensitive. Right? We used to find guys in the O-line for being sensitive. We had a doorbell, so... Ding, sensitive Shane Beamer. Right? You got to calm down. You don't get to be that sensitive over there. You don't like it, play better football.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's step aside for a break here on Sports Nightly. Got another segment left with Sirles. We're going to talk Husker football coming up on the other side of this. And Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back with more with Sirles and talking some Husker football on the other side of this.
Nebraska soybeans power everyday products, from Goodyear tires and Skechers shoes to soy-based turf and fire suppressants. These innovations replace petroleum and utilize other components of the soybean, leading to more sustainable products worldwide.
I'm Doug Sadoff, a farmer near Trumbull, Nebraska. Thanks to cutting-edge research, soybeans are now in everything from tires to turf. It's amazing to see how these advancements are unlocking new potential for our crops.
Soybeans are a win for every product and everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
You may have heard about Monolith, how right here in Nebraska, we're producing low-emission carbon black for tires across North America, how we'll soon be providing farmers with locally made fertilizer to reduce our reliance on foreign imports, how we're investing hundreds of millions in multiple Nebraska facilities. You might have heard Monolith is changing the world. We're not. You are. Along with many other Nebraskans in high-paying jobs that support families and communities. Monolith. Nebraska made.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
In the game of life, we all face tough moments. Sometimes it feels like we're up against a formidable defense with no way through. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Don't wait for the final whistle. Reach out, speak up, and let's tackle this together. Because in Nebraska, we're more than a team. We're family. Remember, in times of need, call, text, or chat 988. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
It's the final days of the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Cap off the year with 1.9 financing plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. This New Year's, we're counting down with the best deals on your favorite Ford vehicles. Don't drop the ball. Time is running out. The final days of the year-end sales event are on now. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Get 1.9 financing for 60 months plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, tell me about Toyotathon.
Well, from now until January 6th is the perfect time to get a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more.
Oh, how exciting! So what can you do in a new Toyota this holiday season?
With a new RAV4, you can go snowboarding with your friends.
I love dashing through the snow.
Take a Camry to a tree lighting ceremony.
Sounds merry and bright.
Or even load up the family in a Highlander to go ice skating.
What a jolly good time. So, Jan, got any red Tacomas? After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Florida? I'm there.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers, Corin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by
Akrs,
the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. I think you just need to voice all the Akrs commercials from here on out. You do that Akrs so well.
I'm here for it. Akrs. If you need a spokesperson, you know where to find me.
They might have some some snow machinery if you need that.
Well, it's never going to snow here, so
it's coming
maybe.
This weekend.
No, I'll believe it when it's on the ground. It was supposed to snow last night. I woke up all excited. I looked outside. I was like, ugh, gross.
I saw some snow in New York City on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah. How was New York? How was Christmas in New York?
It was great.
Did you go sit with all the diaper-wearing people in Times Square?
It was... Well, I wasn't there for Times Square, but they were already setting up when we were there. My mom and I walked through there to get to... We went and saw Aladdin on Broadway, which was cool. Nice. She wanted to see a Broadway play, so that was... We're not going to fork out the dough to pay for Lion King, but but Aladdin was good. But we were walking through; they were already setting up, and the people was. I mean, it was. I don't know. I needed you to block for us, is what I'm getting at. It was. There were so many people there. I was losing my patience. I was getting frustrated.
Does it still smell like pee everywhere you go?
It wasn't that bad. I didn't notice it that bad, but
I went out there early October, and it just felt like everywhere I went, I was like, yeah, that's pee.
Yeah, but it was cool, and it was obviously good for the team, and go out of there with a win. So he's here on my Sirles. I'm Jessica Coody here on Sports Nightly. Greg Sharpe has the night off tonight. Okay, let's dive into that. Made it a little closer than probably they would have liked to in the end, but how important was that Pinstripe Bowl win for this program?
Enormous. And we talked about it on the sideline slice of how important the momentum of winning a bowl game leaps your team into winter conditioning, into recruiting, into spring football. I mean, it's just such a springboard. And it's also just such a great feeling to send your seniors out like that on a win, right? Guys that have been through everything, guys that have left this program better than how they found it, and going through that. And it was just such a great way to win a game that we've pretty much handled throughout the entire game until like the last 5 minutes. We had to make it interesting. But I just felt like it was a really good performance all the way around from this Husker team. And it shows that Matt Rule had these guys ready to play.
I was thinking, I thought about you on the sideline because we've talked a lot about this O-line and the depth there that has just been such a process to build after it takes time, right? And so we've been hearing, even Dana Holgerson, the Friday before the game, I interviewed him, and he talked about the young offensive linemen and how excited he is about that group. And right in the fourth quarter, those guys were warming up to come in, and then it got too interesting. But I was like, I could not wait to get those guys out there so that you could have some actual film to be able to watch and see their improvement. I know it would have been just limited, but unfortunately, those young offensive linemen were not able to get out there because of how close that game got.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I remember we were watching it we had a bunch of friends over and we were watching it, and I obviously had my group chats that were going. We're like, wow, this is great. Way to go down. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, this can't, no. Like, we can't do this again, right? Like, this is not how it's going to work. And testament to the Husker program for not spiraling out of control as fastly as I did. Oh my gosh, here we go again. But, you know, they found ways to win. They found ways to grind it out there at the end. But golly, Jess, why do we have to make it so interesting? It doesn't have to be that. I get it, it's great for views. It's good for the heart. But I just wanted to see us kind of stick it to Bill O'Brien there at the end, crying Bill O'Brien, and, you know, just find a way to close out games. But at the end of the day, no one cares how you did it. All that matters is if you get the W or the L.
A one-score win.
Yeah, I guess we need to definitely start padding the stats on that record. So we've got a nice hole to climb out of for that one.
Okay, so obviously lots of positives there. Ramir Johnson wins the MVP of the game. He was so emotional, and he was a big part of closing that door, you know, getting that first down. And he, you know, afterwards he was not going to allow this program to go down in his city the way, so he was going to make sure he did everything that he could. But it was just, what a great story to see him go out the way that he did. Emmett Johnson and him are just so close, and they were both able to do their part. But to me, that was probably the feel-good story of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone loves Ramir. I've loved Ramir. You love Ramir. I mean, we've been huge fans of Ramir ever since he's been here. And I feel like he's been here for ever. And you just knew when he was in the game, you knew you were going to get quality production out of him. You knew that he was going to be in the right spots. He was going to pick up the blitz. He was going to run hard. He was going to do anything you needed him to do. And you even saw it 2 years ago when he got hurt and our run game really went to nothing, how important he was to this team. And even with his little bit of reduction in role this year with Dowdle and Emmett Johnson kind of being the workhorses, he never strayed, he never whined, he never complained. And then when he got his moment at the last game of the year in his home city, he made the most of it. And you really saw the teammates rally around him. Right, I think that was the coolest part, is seeing how excited everyone else was for him in scoring those touchdowns and doing all that stuff, because they all knew what kind of a guy he is. And that really, for me, shows the kind of teammate that he is, you know, when your teammates have that level of love and respect for you, that means that you're a great guy. And I'm just glad that it worked out for him in his last game as a Husker.
There was no doubt two guys that absolutely flashed, young guys on defense. Vincent Schaefer's number one was all over the field, and Willis McGahee. And Ty Robinson was very complimentary of those guys, too. Just, he said, I feel better knowing that I'm leaving it in the hands like those two guys, but they balled out.
Yeah, I mean, I was so confused because Schaefer's moved his number to 1, right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, that's not Jamari. Jamari plays for LSU now. I was like, who is that?
Which Jamari did change. They switched it towards the end of the season, but yes, he was.
Yeah. He was, right? But it was one of those things where as I was watching it, I was like, man, this dude is everywhere. and he was making sacks. He was in coverage. He was TFLs, and he reminded me a little bit of a young Levante David out there running around, right? Using that speed and the instincts for a young guy. I was like, man, this is awesome to see someone come in this role, click it, put it all together. Because you talk about a guy that you have a game like that, and you feel that top of the podium, top of the mountaintop experience of playing your best game, winning the bowl game. That's going to drive you so much to be like, man, there's more in the tank. I want to go do this every game. I want to be this dominant player every game. So that dude's going to work his tail off through winter, through spring, through training camp. I can't wait to see some of these young guys on this black shirt defense under what Butler's new defense scheme is going to look like.
We've talked about that last time on the Slice and when you were on the program, just about Coach Butler and what he could potentially do. But let's talk the offensive coordinator. What were some of the things you saw that you took away from Dana Holgerson's offense? And they were moving the ball fairly easily most of the day.
Yeah, you know, I love Dana's aggressiveness, his ability to let Dylan cut it loose and to take those deep shots. I know we didn't connect on many of them, but just the ability to say, hey, Dylan, if you feel like you've got one-on-one coverage on the outside and you trust your receiver, throw it. Right, because that keeps defenses honest. That keeps those safeties from getting nosy and putting their heads where they're not supposed to be. That keeps the corners from maybe not being as quick on run support because they're worried about a guy running by them. And I think that's something that Dana Holgerson's going to continue to work with this new batch of receivers coming in. The old group of receivers and Dylan this offseason is the timing of those deep shots, because you can just tell the timing wasn't really there.
And the field was awful.
The field was a disaster. I mean, it's a baseball field. Of course it's a disaster, right? And so you wanted to connect on those because those are game-changing type plays. And if we can start connecting on 2 or 3 of those per a game, man, that's going to be great, and it's going to open up so much more. So I love the aggressive approach of Dana Holgerson and the ability to go down there. And then I just love the poise of Dylan Raiola, you know, the ability to come up to the line of scrimmage, get us into the right play, keep the penalties clean on the production, on the pre-snap side of it, right? So really excited for a full year under Dana Holgerson, too. And it's kind of weird. It's almost like we're starting over in year 3, but not really, right? Because it's, hey, same cast of characters, players, and guys we know, but 2 whole new coordinators coming in year 3 is kind of an interesting feeling.
So we had some guys that were talking about this the other night in the chat, and I said that I would ask you about this, and we'll see how it all unfolds, because certainly he's got some more opportunities ahead. But Ty Robinson, where do you foresee him maybe going in this draft? What are you hearing about Ty from scouts and what he could potentially look at coming into this draft?
All I've heard from scouts on Ty is that he's going to test like a super freak.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're all like, this dude suppose he's going to run like 4.8 at 315. He's going to bench a house. He's going to jump run. And there's nothing that GMs and scouts love more than crazy athletic defensive linemen. Right? They love it because it's a pass-happy league, and it's dudes up front. If you can be twitchy and big and strong, they love it. So I think that if he continues to test well, I think he's going to the Senior Bowl. He goes down to the Senior Bowl, has a great week down there, and continues to crush as well. And then through the process, I think he could sneak into being a day 2 pick. Right? I think he has a chance to be a top 100, top 150 pick absolutely in this year's class.
What's the process of the combine? Like, will he have a shot at that, or is that done?
Oh, I think he's going to the combine. Yeah. Okay. So the combine, the invites are just now starting to kind of start trickling out as they're coming out now. But the way it works is the combine has their own separate committee that they get input from coaches and scouts and GMs, and you have to vote on players into the combine. So if there's 17 teams that vote for you to go to the combine, right, so over half the NFL wants to see you at the combine, then you'll get a combine invite, right? So I'd be pretty shocked if Ty Robinson doesn't get a combine invite. I think Nash Hutmaker and Tommy Hill are kind of right on the cusp there as well.
We've talked about this, and we'll continue to talk about this as they continue to develop that kind of talent. But how important is that to get guys and not just on teams, but get drafted? They're, you know, continuing to higher and higher in that draft round to get those guys that are on those first 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's twofold. One, you have more day 1, day 2 picks. You're going to win more football games. Right? It's no secret. Right? Look at Ohio State. A lot of day 1 and day 2 picks on that football team, right? You're going to win a lot more football games when you have that kind of talent. And number 2, it helps with recruiting because you want to prove to high school recruits or transfer portal recruits that you can develop that type of player pedigree for the NFL. And that comes down to your strength coaching, to your nutrition, to your coaching. Like, it's not just on the field. It's everything that surrounds you to develop into that, because you don't just become a great player. You build yourself into becoming a great player with the facilities and the team that you put around you. So Nebraska being able to show that, hey, we can bring guys in from the high school level, develop them to day 1, day 2 picks. We can bring guys in from the FCS or a lower P5 or whatever it is and develop them into day 1, day 2 picks. It just shows that we've got something cooking here at Nebraska that not just for winning football games, but for personal development is great as well.
I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and I said, I think this is going to be a more talented football team going into next year. I just think with some of the younger players that have had now a year to develop, you're continuing to build the depth on the O-line. Got to get some guys to hit in the portal, obviously, and the roster situation, getting it down to 105. But I do think it's going to be a more talented roster. Is that safe to say, right?
You want to say that every year. And you know, you do. You want to say every year you're going to be more talented than you were last year just because of the growth and the development of your young players. I think you're right. I think that watching some of the younger guys, you know, you talk about guys like Barney, right? And you talk about guys like, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the DNs, Cam Lenhart, right? Guys that are going to continue to take steps in the right direction. You know, Dylan Raiola, Emmett Johnson, all those guys, if they continue to grow on the path in which they have, then yes, we're going to be much more talented. I do think we need to hit some key positions like pass rusher, you know, defensive back, that there's some question marks there of we're losing some pieces that have been staples, right? Ty Robinson, Nash Huntmaker, Deshaun Singleton, Tommy Hill, right? When you lose multiple guys at that level of, hey, production has been this level for years off of this 1 or 2 guys, that is hard for big shoes to fill. But I think that our coaches are smart, our front office is smart. They're going to fill holes in the portal that need to be filled. And yeah, I do think that with Corey Campbell being as successful as he's been in his first few years here as the strength coach, all these guys are going to come out bigger, faster, stronger, and ready to eat come August next year.
All right, great stuff as always, my friend. Thanks for stepping in and helping us out here tonight.
Absolutely. Greg had the night off. Jess, enjoy the rest of the week and go Big Red.
I think we got to make some more picks, though, coming up.
Yes, we absolutely have to make more picks.
Yeah.
We'll get some more picks here. I don't
think you can catch me, by the way.
I think I'm done.
We're
I think
doing
I'm
the
toast.
math. You can't catch me. I'm
I
still
think
trying to
I'm
catch the students. I'm still going for that crown, but
yeah, I think I'm toast.
I was making sure, I was doing the math the other day, that I could go out on some limbs to try to catch the students, that you wouldn't catch me if I did that. And I have absolutely I've built enough cushion that you can't catch me.
I did not finish the year strong. I did not play my best football at the end of the year.
All right, well, we'll be talking to you soon as we continue our Choices Treatment Center picks coming up here throughout the college football playoff. Jeremiah Sirles joining us here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We're back with more from Sports Nightly coming up after this.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
There's something to be said for American made, but at Monolith, we're helping create Nebraska made. From here in Nebraska, we're producing low-emission carbon black for tires across North America. Soon we'll be providing farmers with locally made fertilizer to reduce our reliance on foreign imports. We're investing hundreds of millions in our multiple Nebraska facilities and employing Nebraskans in high-paying jobs that support families and communities. Monolith, Nebraska made.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens.
I'm Jason Pinky, a farmer near Craig, Nebraska. Soybeans are vital for feeding our livestock, and they're also a powerhouse protein source for people worldwide. Our world needs protein, and Nebraska soybeans are making a difference.
From tailgate grills to global plates, farmers deliver affordable, nutritious protein to build muscle and energy for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
It's the final days of the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Cap off the year with 1.9 financing plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. This New Year's, we're counting down with the best deals on your favorite Ford vehicles. Don't drop the ball. Time is running out. The final days of the year-end sales event are on now. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Get 1.9 financing for 60 months plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hello, Husker Nation. This is Lex Rodriguez, All-American Libero, serving you an ace on behalf of Noddle Companies based in Omaha, Nebraska. Noddle Companies is a full-service leader in commercial real estate, digging deep to create thriving communities like the Builders District, Exarban Village, and the contemporary row house townhomes. They bring world-class concepts in fashion, great eats, gorgeous homes, and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. To dig up more information, find them on Facebook and Instagram. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska.
Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, tell me about Toyotathon.
Well, from now until January 6th is the perfect time to get a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more.
Oh, how exciting! So what can you do in a new Toyota this holiday season?
With a new RAV4, you can go snowboarding with your friends.
I love dashing through the snow.
Take a Camry to a tree lighting ceremony.
Sounds merry and bright.
Or even load up the family in a Highlander to go ice skating.
What a jolly good time. So, Jan, got any red Tacomas? After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Florida? I'm there.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers, Corin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Just got a couple of quick segments left here on this Thursday night edition of Sports Nightly. It's felt like Monday all day. I does not feel like Thursday, but hey, today and tomorrow and then a weekend, and then we'll have a full week ahead next week. We'll have some basketball games. We'll have some full show on Monday night here on Sports Nightly. We'll have a full 2 hours tomorrow as well. Greg Sharpe scheduled to be back. We got a fun night planned tomorrow on our Friday party show. But we have talked a lot about the transfer portal and the additions that the Huskers are targeting, and it's a big weekend this weekend as well. They got some guys on campus. I'm sure they'll be going to the basketball game against UCLA on Saturday. They've got the highlights going in the stadium. The parking lot was full again today out in front of our broadcast center, which we've talked a lot about since they moved over to the new facility. Coaches, staff park over here on this side. So it's a busy day today in the building as they continue to get some guys from the portal. They did officially announce on the Husker football social media platforms officially the additions of a couple of new Huskers. Andrew Marshall, the cornerback out of Idaho that started all 13 games last year. 50 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, forced fumble recovery. And the big thing, too, just one of the top returners at the FCS level, had returned pair of touchdowns, one punt return for a touchdown and a kickoff for a touchdown, a 100-yard kickoff return, by the way. And I think it was over 40 yards per return on that. So that was a big get. That was one thing that Damon Benning had talked about that he thought was one of the most important targets out of the transfer portal for this football team, was getting an experienced defensive back, which they got there, and maybe adding a couple more there as well. And then also wide receiver, which Dane Key officially announced by the Huskers today. Both these guys had announced on their social media platforms that they had committed, but it is officially official as it is on the Nebraska football social media platforms. But Dane Key was rated ESPN transfer rankings. They had him as the number 2 wide receiver and number 6 overall player in the transfer rankings, but a big 6'3", 210-pound junior. He has one final season left of eligibility in 2025, but started 3 years for Kentucky, caught 126 passes for over 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns during his career. But reuniting with Dakeil Shorts Jr., the new wide receivers coach, and had 715 receiving yards, 47 receptions last season. Played with 3 different quarterbacks, but that's a big get out of the portal too. So you get another big experienced wide receiver and then defensive back. So those are two gets there that are official today as well. You know, we've heard there's been several additions and there's more to come, but those were the 2 that were officially announced today by Husker football. All right, we went a little bit long there with Jeremiah Sirles, so got to get to our final break. We're back to wrap things up coming up after this.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Meese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Attention Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Final segment here, final couple minutes left of Sports Nightly tonight. Greg Sharpe has the night off, but he will be back tomorrow night. We've got a fun show planned for you. We're going to hear from Antrell Taylor. So Antrell, the Nebraska wrestler, is at 157 this year, ranked second in the country. And it's a big weekend coming up. The final non-conference weekend for Nebraska wrestling, ranked third and fourth in a couple of different polls. So one of the top teams in the country. And they have big weekend top 10 matchup at UNI this weekend, and Antrell's got a top 10 matchup in his 157 matchup. So we're going to hear from him before they will begin Big Ten competition coming up a week from Saturday back here at the Devaney Center. We're also going to preview the weekend of hoops with Kent Pavelka and Matt Coatney. So big weekend there with inside PBA with UCLA coming to town on Saturday, number 15 ranked UCLA, and then the women playing against Penn State at 2 o'clock on Sunday. So big weekend there. We're going to talk Husker hoops, and we're going to make some picks. So this is what Greg told me. So we've got just a couple more pick segments left, and we're going to pick the semifinals, which has been set with Notre Dame knocking off Georgia. It will be Notre Dame, Penn State on January 9th, 6:30, and then it will be Texas, Ohio State on January 10th at 6:30. So how about that for a semifinal foursome? That's some blue bloods there. But also wanted to give a shout out to Cam Jurgens, who is first-time Pro Bowler, announced today that he has been named a Pro Bowler in his first season after replacing Jason Kelsey at center. So congratulations to him. I know a lot of people were talking about his move to play in center. I'll never forget, I asked him about it, and he said he was very reluctant. In fact, he pushed back several times before he officially made the move. But just an incredible athlete. And in that year that he got drafted, remember Jason Kelsey was coming out saying, no, this is the guy that's going to replace me. So congratulations to Cam Jurgens and being selected as a Pro Bowler. So good stuff there. Coming up again tomorrow night, full 2 hours. Greg Sharpe will be back with us. So we have a fun night planned. So make sure and join us for our Friday party show. Got plenty to talk about there with Greg Sharpe. All right, have a great night. Happy New Year once again, and we'll see you tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the final days of the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Cap off the year with 1.9 financing plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. This New Year's, we're counting down with the best deals on your favorite Ford vehicles. Don't drop the ball. Time is running out. The final days of the year-end sales event are on now. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Get 1.9 financing for 60 months plus $1,000 holiday cash plus no payments for 90 days on F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Nebraska soybeans power everyday products, from Goodyear tires and Skechers shoes to soy-based turf and fire suppressants. These innovations replace petroleum and utilize other components of the soybean, leading to more sustainable products worldwide.
I'm Doug Sadoff, a farmer near Trumbull, Nebraska. Thanks to cutting-edge research, soybeans are now in everything from tires to turf. It's amazing to see how these advancements are unlocking new potential for our crops.
Soybeans are a win for every product and everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, tell me about Toyotathon.
Well, from now until January 6th is the perfect time to get a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more.
Oh, how exciting! So what can you do in a new Toyota this holiday season?
With a new RAV4, you can go snowboarding with your friends.
I love dashing through the snow.
Take a Camry to a tree lighting ceremony.
Sounds merry and bright.
Or even load up the family in a Highlander to go ice skating.
What a jolly good time. So, Jan, got any red Tacomas? After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Florida? I'm there.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers,